Race number 14 in the 2015 DASCAR Vredestien Series, season number 8, brings us to the windy road course, the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York. Welcome to NBC Sports' coverage of the Zippo 200 at the Glen, here from Watkins Glen International in Watkins Glen, New York. Joining me alongside is our road course expert, Chris Washer. I'm Jerry Pintor, up here in the booth, get ready to call this race for you. Alright, Chris, Watkins Glen is a very windy road course, but not only is it windy, this track is opening its doors to the boot section for this series.
Yes, it is. With the boot section, it means more track to cover, and that could be potentially heartbreaking for some of these guys because they never raced in the boot section before. Some of these guys are like, oh yeah, I'm good at Watkins Glen, but when they get introduced to the boot, it could be a whole different story.
You know that this road course, the boot course, like the back of your hand, so it's going to be a big adaptation for these drivers to get used to the boot course.
Yes, it will. The boot is... There's one good thing about the boot. It's not like the Nordschleife where you have the Grand Prix track, and then you have to go out into, you know, it's kind of like that situation. When you know the Grand Prix track in the Nürburgring on the back of your hand, then you have to do the Nordschleife. Nordschleife is 15 miles long, but the boot is only like a mile, so that's the good thing about the boot. They don't have to drive as long as they do as any other part of the track in the other parts of the world.
Well, it's going to be a major turning point for the top 16 of the points. Let's get to them right now. A new point leader following Oxford Plains is Ferdinand Gabba with a 39-point lead over Eric Powers, who lost the point lead to Ferdinand. Benny Johnson, Diana Vasquez, Robert Pietras has made the biggest jump in DASCAR racing history, 24 positions. Sonopor, Stephanie Gardner, Ami Ely, Troy Kane, Dishwasher, Ray Takada, Nick Pericles, Virgil Aberlonzo, Skylar Dixon, and the final chase position is Dylan Thoreau.
And yes, and Dylan Thoreau is kind of in a tight spot right there because right behind him is Bessler, and guess what? She is only 1 point behind.
That's going to be one. This is really going to be one hell of a points battle here at Watkins Glen. Chris, are you ready?
I am ready for some road course action. Finally, it's been way too long.
All right, don't go away, folks. We'll get you to the start of the Zippo 200 at the Glen on the other side. And welcome back to Watkins Glen International in Watkins Glen, New York, where we're getting ready to go racing here for the Zippo 200 at the Glen. Road course expert Chris Washer, Jamie Painter up here in the booth, getting ready to call this race for you. 9 laps around the boot, but 9 laps seems short, but on this on the boot course, it's a pretty long time.
Yeah, it's a pretty long time. On the old course, you have, I think the laps are about 1:21. I believe the boot course, the laps are going to be around at least 1:40 to 2 minutes. So it's going to be a little bit longer, but it's not going to be a very, very long race like an endurance race. Like we're going to have in the DASCAR VIP Pets Foods Endurance Series, which we're excited to bring about, but that's not coming for a long time. We need to get these DASCAR Vredestien Series races finished. And take a look who's on the front row. You have Robert Piet, who made that big jump in points, up to 5th, I believe. And then you have Dishwasher. We were telling them last week at Oxford Plains, that Dishwasher is going to be a guy to contend for this battle here, or lead, at Watkins Glen. And sure enough, he's in the 2nd place position.
Well, how about that, Chris? 2 road course experts who know road courses like the back of their hands on the front 2 rows.
And also, speaking about Dishwasher, it's breaking news. He just got signed into one of the very few people. There's only 3 people, and they're like, the teams are just like having early picks. And Dishwasher got signed into Team Falcon Tire for the Nissan in the VP Pets Food Endurance Series. So that shows a team out of Japan shows that they have extreme confidence in this German.
That is extreme confidence and a lot of respect to Dish. Well, he's going to prove himself to these semi-road course ringers. A lot of them don't know road courses. A lot of them do. But it's time for our picks presented by Nationwide. Nationwide's on your side. Chris, who do you got?
Who do I got? Well, based on... I'm going to go with the underdog. I'm going to go with Bessler. She is He is 17th in the points, 1 point behind. All she needs to do is to be behind be in front of Dylan Thoreau, and she's in the chase.
Well, I'm going to go with the Royal Course ringer, that being the 22 of Dishwasher. Washer is going to get his third win of the season, and most likely contend for the point lead at the end of this race. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Chris, you know road courses. We're going to take a full pace lap around Watkins Glen.
Alright, we're going to take a little look at this 90-degree corner. It's called the 90, and for a big reason, of course. It's a 90-degree corner. Now you have one of the most famous parts of this circuit. You have the S's. Of course, they're very well known. As you see, it's part of the NASCAR track they use.
Yeah, the NASCAR course is very famous for the S's, but the chicane has been taken off.
Oh yes, the chicane has been taken off the track, so no inner loop. They're just the back stretch, and trust me, going into the outer loop, I believe they call it, it's gonna be amazing. And then out after the outer loop, you enter the bus stop through the chute, and then you have the toe. And then actually, Jamie, if you want to get technical, the backstretch is called the boot. And then you have the turn after that little backstretch of the boot section is called the heel. So you got extra turn names.
Well, they're entering the chute right now, so they're gonna come up on the boot section of this of the road course, and here they go around into the chute.
And they're going to enter the toe in about a few seconds, which is right here. You see, not many fans. Actually, there's no fans at all in this part of the track. Actually, no, there's a few campers right there, so they're enjoying DASCAR's return to the boot.
And here they go into the boot right about now. They're on the backstretch. They're going to enter the boot right here.
I see Pepsi proudly sponsoring the boot section there. We're glad to have Pepsi as a sponsor.
And then that'll lead them back onto the NASCAR course. So that's a full lap around Watkins Glen, the boot section. Back onto the NASCAR course. And into turn 11.
And also these next few turns, they're coming up through turns 10 and 11. They're just named 10 and 11. There's no special name to them. No utmost significance. So, Jamie, let's get the hammer down, shall we?
Pace cars off. They're off turn 12. Here we go. Watkins Glen, the return to the boot. We're green.
Coming into the 90, we have Robert Piet making a very good start, but Dishwasher's holding his ground on the outside line. It's going to be a huge cutthroat battle going to the S's.
Up through the S's, Washer has the advantage, and he takes the lead.
Right to the outside. Very impressive by the 22 of Dishwasher. Robert Piet still holds that second place position, but here comes the 33 of Voiles.
Here comes the 60.
Oh, and trust me, this is coming into the outer loop. Remember, no chicane. This is all
contact.
Robert Piet, he's already in the chase. I don't know why he wants to screw this up.
Into the chute. Here they go.
I know a person that may need to get some contact with this race. It's going to be the 33 of Daniel Voiles. Voiles is once again, we said, week in and week out. He's on the outside looking in. Let's see where he is in points. He is definitely somewhere in the 20s. He is currently in the 26th spot. And trust me, let's take a look at, okay, 1364 is the points for 16th. Let's take a look at how much Voiles has. A 1263. So Voiles is going to have to win basically all the races coming up to Mallory Park to get in the chase. So it's not looking good for him.
It's not looking good for him. We only have about maybe 5 or 6 races to go until we reach the chase cutoff, and Voiles is going to be on the outside looking in. It certainly looks like.
Yeah, but guess what? There's season 9, the farewell season. I'm sure Voiles can do that, but we have a car off track.
Yeah,
in the
we
middle
do.
Of turns 12, 10, 11.
Not sure what was that all about, but I think it was a 6 car of Eric Hayden. Let's take a look at Hayden and see what happened to him. Oh, it was Eric Powers, the point leader. Wow.
Eric Powers is currently in the 5th position the last time they crossed the scoring loop. So he's doing just fine, but guess what? New storyline of American Powers coming into this race. He's second in points. I know, it's surprising. Ferdinand Gabo took the lead away in the points from the Oxford Plains twin races. Did a very good job. I don't believe he even took double points.
No, he didn't. He didn't take double points at all. It's just a case of where he was. He'll have to go into the chute now. That'll lead him off towards the toe.
Correct, and I was correct with my calculations in pre-race. The laps are about a minute 42 going into the minute 43. So it's a 9-lap race, so it's gonna take around 15 minutes for this race to complete.
On the backstretch of Watkins Glen, going up into the boot section. That'll lead him off back onto the NASCAR course. So Robert Piet surely knows his way around this track. He actually tested at this section of the track, so he has the upper advantage.
And also, the people that have been here since the start of this series also has an advantage, because they raced here in earlier seasons, but DASCAR decided to take the boot out and just run the regular NASCAR course. But this year, they're changing it, because this is the last season before the farewell season. We're going retro for that.
Yeah, we're going retro for the farewell season. We're actually going to bring the old course back into play to where we ran in season 1. Dishwasher has the left side tires on the rumble strips. That's not what you want to do.
No, but I believe everybody's doing that. I don't know why they're doing that, because it loses you a bunch of time and speed. But I do. Maybe they're just trying to save tires, but I don't think that's a logical explanation.
I'm not sure, but a lot of cars are getting off into the rumble strips. That's not what you want to do on a front stretch. You can use the rumble strips to help you turn in a corner. Look at this battle right here for 9th, because they go into the chute.
And there's Diane Vasquez. Let's take a look where Vasquez is. She is currently 4th in points, so she is basically locked in there. But let's take a look at the Amanda Scoutmeister car. She's not doing exactly too good in the points. She is definitely on the outside looking in.
Now, she is mathematically eliminated from this chase. She's way down there in points. She's basically in the basement in terms of points into the boot section of Watkins Glen. Here comes the 54 Kyle Corbett on Amanda Scoutmaster. Vasquez clears Scoutmaster for position on the track, so Scoutmaster going south in this race.
Yeah, she's going south for the winner, because she is definitely not running up there with the front cars, which is Robert Piet, Dishwasher, and Daniel Voiles. And Voiles is still in the 3rd spot, which, Jamie, I don't know how much points he would get, but 3rd is definitely a spot that would be good for him in the points, but not as much as points he would like to have.
Not by a long shot. He will need a win to get him inside maybe the top 16, top 10 in points. But Robert Piet, the biggest mover of the points so far, with this win possibly coming to him, he might take over the point lead.
And also, Dishwasher, even if he gets that 2nd place, it's still going to be good for him, because he is currently in the 11th spot in the championship points. And trust me, he told me earlier today that he doesn't want to be anywhere, because if he has a bad day, that puts him at risk for making him miss the chase. If he gets in the top 10, that leaves him a little cushion. That way, if he has a bad day, he doesn't have to worry about missing the chase. But look at this excellent shot coming into the toe.
A lot of great battles right there. Tua Tupla and Amanda Scoutmaster right there. The 43 almost got turned.
Oh, there's about between the 42 and the 3 car.
Let's take a look at that battle as they enter the NASCAR course once again. Ray Takeda and Skylar Dixon side by side entering the boot.
Actually, let's take a look at where Skylar Dixon is in points. Actually, they're both in the chase. These 2 cars are both in the chase. The difference is Ray Takeda's in the top 10. Skylar Dixon is in 15th.
Yeah, Skylar Dixon is hanging on to her chase spot. Wow, got a little loose there.
Actually, I don't believe he has that much points to hold on to his chase spot to. Let's take a look how much points. it's only around 4 points.
Yeah, not a lot of room for error for Skylar Dixon. 3 wide into the 90.
They do it so well there. This is what these are why this is the best drivers in the DASCAR. And take a look at the 84 car passing the 2. Nice pass coming out from the outside.
Nice pass there by Dylan Throw and car 84 there. Still side by side between the 2 of P2 London and the 3 of Ray Takeda. Now Takeda, 12th in the points, moved down 4 positions following the Oxford Plains race, so not a lot of room for error for Takeda as well as they enter the toe section of the track.
Another one of those guys trying to make it to the chase, but he's currently 27th in points. He's in the same spot as Voiles, basically. Basically meaning he has to win a few races. But thing is, P2 London doesn't have any races under his belt, so he's not gonna get that help like Voiles has. He has a little bit of help from Voiles, but Voiles still needs to work as hard as he can. But P2, he's basically out.
Well, let's go back to Daniel Voiles here, because Voiles, we're going to come up, Chris, on a track that he is definitely has some luck in, and that's the World Center of Racing. We're going back there in the next race, Daytona.
Yeah, anyone has luck there. It's a super speedway race. That's what makes it the World Center of Racing. If you come there, you basically have at least a shot of winning. It doesn't matter if you're an underfunded car or if you're one of the top 10 teams in DASCAR. It's just amazing how the draft and the slingshots and just all of those come into play when they're trying to win the race at Daytona. And it doesn't matter, once again, like I said, if you're an underfunded team or a top 10 team, there's always that shot to win. And that basically means that people from the outside of DASCAR try to make it into this race, but all the time, because they basically show up in really, really underfunded equipment. They can't qualify for the race.
No, they can't, but they actually have a pretty legitimate shot at least winning one race in their whole entire season. I've seen teams go 1 win in their whole season. They haven't seen victory lane since.
Yeah, but that's super speedway racing. With the help of the draft, being a restrictor plate track, it takes some talent, but not as much talent as it takes to win these other tracks like Watkins Glen, Atlanta, stuff that. But once again, those are really high horsepower tracks too, not the underfunded team fault.
No, and take a look at this camera, Chris, as they enter the boot. What a camera we have.
Sponsored by Pepsi, of course. Once again, nice to have Pepsi as a sponsor, but take a look at Dishwasher currently in the 2nd position. I like what he's doing right now, Jamie. He is having a cool and collected race because he knows that he's in 11th, and 2nd is way better than 11th, so he's going to put some spots up there on the chase board for him, and he's probably going to at least be in the 8th spot out of this time the race is done. And let's take a look. Yet, once again, he is just dominating this race. He's like the Mercedes of NASCAR right now.
Well, they don't call him 2-time champion for nothing. I mean, this guy has just dominated races that he's actually taken the lead in. They don't call him 2-time champion for nothing.
It may remind the viewers that he won last week.
That could be. He's on the verge of back-to-back wins.
I believe he won in 2, and that's how he got that big jump of 24 spots up in the chase board. And that put him in the chase. Once again, of course, he was in the chase, but after the race 1 ended, that put some other people out of the chase. But of course, race 2 came and they were back. But watching the 60 car go around this boot section here, and take a look at those RVs. The fans like the boot so much that they just parked there for a week straight.
I actually talked to one fan here, Chris. In the booth section, he was camped out since Halloween,
and that was like a month ago.
So fans are lining up the boot course a month in advance just to see this race.
It's crazy, and sadly, the racing is not as spectacular as we wished it would. But that's a race that. You're going to have some races that aren't really exciting, and this is surely one of them. But it's a road course, and we have 2 laps to go. Robert Piet could screw up at any corner.
Yeah, Robert Piet, this is his race to lose unless he screws up in one of these corners. Dishwasher's going to pounce.
Yeah, but Robert Piet, he's just not missing a beat. He is keeping up with his rhythm, just pulling a gap on Dishwasher lap and lap again. And I believe the high-speed nature of this track is helping Piet, because you saw Oxford Plains. That was a pretty high-speed track. There wasn't much braking involved. Robert Piet, won the race. Didn't dominate, but he won it. But for Watkins Glen, he is just dominating, and no chicane is definitely really helping him.
Going off into the heel, not the heel.
The toe.
Yeah, the toe. I keep calling it the heel.
The heel is this little turn coming up next time by after the stretch, the Pepsi stretch, I like to call it. Of course, it's sponsored by Pepsi.
Into the boot, onto the NASCAR course. Robert Piet will see the white flag, and his second win of the season. Back-to-back wins, actually.
That's kind of a pattern we're seeing this season, Jamie. We saw Daniel Voiles do it. I believe it was Sonoma, and what
Michigan.
other? Michigan. Yes, correct. Pray for Paris 300. Now we're gonna see Robert Piet do it. Oxford Plains and Watkins Glen. Ironically, in reverse order, from a little oval to a road course.
White flag for Piet, 1 lap to go. No cautions in this race, so we are going caution-free. So far, almost all the way through this race, and Robert Piet is just dominating this race right now, just like a Mercedes of DASCAR, like you said, Chris. A 1.88 second lead, that's more than enough.
Yes, this race, he's already up there in the chase standings. He's about 5th. This basically locks him in, and this could be the first time we could see this season lock themselves into the chase.
Well, Robert Piet 5th in the points. He's going to solidify his spot in the points.
He's going to make it a 3-time championship run.
Well, they don't call him the Flying Dutchman for nothing. He's just dominating this race after the win at Oxford Plains into the toe. Going back up the backstretch into the heel or the boot. And Robert Piet is going to see his second win of the season. And this is most likely going to solidify his spot in the 2015 chase. And it's going to make him... It's going to make for a 3-championship run. Can he get his 3rd championship this season? We'll have to find out later on in the chase. But Robert Piet, what a dominating performance from him today at Watkins Glen. Led all the laps, kind of. But coming out of turn 12, the Flying Dutchman returns to victory lane. Robert Piet will go to victory lane at the Glen. Damn it.
Well, we already know who's going to win anyway.
There we go.
Just all in a single file line. I guess the track was not really made up for passing. I guess the rain overnight kind of helped the no passing situation, but the racing was still not that bad. I mean, we saw Robert Piet get 2 in a row. The storylines are continuing to build for the chase, so that's going to set it up for Daytona, and hopefully much better racing.
Well, Daytona does not disappoint whatsoever, Chris, so we're going to see a dominating performance from just about everybody, but only one can go to victory lane at Daytona. We'll find out who it is in our next race at the World Center of Racing, but today at Watkins Glen, Robert Piet, the Flying Dutchman, almost solidifies his spot in the chase with another dominating performance on the road course. Let's take a look at your official standings. What a race for Disc, Chris, in second.
In second, correct, and he was, once again, as I said earlier in the broadcast, 11th in the points. And trust me, when you're 11th in the points, 16-person cutoff, you need to get in that top 10 because you need that cushion. Otherwise, you're going to be shaking with fear, or pressure, I should replace it with, that you could crash out because of that pressure, and bam, you're dropping down into the bottom of the top 16. and the pressure gets immense. That's why Dish wants to get at least a win, or at least really good finishes here at Mallory Park, so he can relieve some of that pressure. And trust me, some of that pressure is going to be relieved after the points come out early tonight.
Well, rounding out the running field, Haruka Taka in last. No cars off, no cars crashed, no cars one lap down, no cautions. Pretty quiet race in terms of racing, but that's all going to change at Daytona. Somebody wrecked. I just jinxed it. God darn it. Who wrecked? And the caution's out. After the race, the yellow flag flies. Well, cautions and cautions. What are you going to do?
Well, this happened after the race.
Yep. So, for Chris Washer, I'm Jamie Panto. For all of us here at NBC and the whole entire DASCAR Vredestien family, keep their head down, and we'll see you at the World Center of Racing.